Alright, bubble sort. Bubble sort is a sorting algorithm that compares adjacent elements and checks to see if they're in order. If not, these elements are switched, then the next pair of adjacent elements is compared. And we continue on in that pattern until all elements are in order. While using bubble sort, I like to imagine that our collection is filled with water. Heavy things like rocks, sediment will sink to the bottom. Anything light, such as air, wood, bubbles, anything light will float to the top. Here's an array of 9 unordered elements. We will use bubble sort to manually sort these elements in ascending numeric order. Alright, so I reset this array. We're going to perform a total of 9 laps, but don't worry, I'll fast forward through this footage. So let's just walk through the first few steps. We will compare these first 2 adjacent elements. We'll check to see if the first element is greater than the second element. If it is, we will move this element to a variable, which will probably be named temp, short for temporary. And we'll take the next element and place it where the first element was, then move this variable within temp into the spot that 1 was in, the previous element. Okay, so then we will check these next 2 adjacent elements. This first element is greater than the second element, so we will move our first element into temp, move the second element to where element 1 was, and then move temp to where element 2 is, and then we would just repeat this process. So we will lap through this array once for each element that is available. So let's just speed up the footage here, and I will show you manually a bubble sort. As you may have noticed, the bubble sort algorithm really isn't that efficient, even when working with smaller datasets. In most real-world applications, you'll probably use a different sorting algorithm, but this is still a good thing to learn.
First, we're going to input a header for import and output operation. Then let's move to function definition. Declares a function named bubble sort that takes an integer array or r and its size n as input. If no swap occur in an iteration of the outer loop, the array is already sorted and the function breaks. Now, let's move to main function. Creates an integer array or to r with elements to be sorted. Array size calculation, the size n of the array using size of. Then printing the original array and calling the bubble sort. Then printing sorted array. Okay, let's check now if it's working. And that's all. Everything in the program is correct.
Okay, let's check now if it's working.